One of these three men was selected on 3 All-American football teams. What is your name, please?
My name is Brock Strom.
What is your name, please?
My name is Brock Strom.
What is your name, please?
My name is Brock Strom.
2 of these people are imposters. Only one is the real Brock Strom, and is the only one sworn to tell the truth. Now, here is our host, Bud Collier.
Thank you very much. Thank you, and welcome once again to Tell the Truth, brought to you this week by Arid Cream Deodorant, America's largest selling cream deodorant. Don't be half safe, be completely safe. Use Arid Cream Deodorant to be sure. Now may I introduce our panel. What is your name, please?
My name is Betty White.
My name is Mike Wallace.
My name is Kitty Carlisle.
And my name is Gardner.
Betty and Mike, our free Christmas present to ourselves is having you two with us tonight.
Thank you, Bud.
What a nice
Great pleasure having you here.
Nice to be here.
Now, these 3 gentlemen, as you've heard, all claim to be Brock Strom. Only one, of course, is the real Brock Strom. The other 2 have merely assumed that identity. Panel, will you follow along with your copies of this affidavit as I read it? I, Brock Strom, am a cadet at the United States Air Force Academy near Colorado Springs, Colorado. I am a member of the first class in history to enter the Academy and will be in the first class to graduate from the Academy this coming June. My sport is football, and I was elected to 3 All-American teams. This year, our first in major intercollegiate competition, we were undefeated. And we have accepted an invitation to play against Texas Christian University in the Cotton Bowl on New Year's Day. I am the captain of the football team. Signed, Brock Strom. Finally, these 3 young men all claim to be Brock Strom, as you heard, Air Force Academy cadet and football captain. Only the real Brock Strom is required to answer your questions truthfully, and we'll begin tonight's first questioning with Gardner.
Thank you, Bud. Number 2, I was invited to the premiere of a motion picture at the Academy some months ago. Do you recall the name of the picture?
I remember it being shown, but we happened to be at an away football game at that time.
Number 3, would you know the name of the picture?
I can't recall it.
Number 1?
I can't recall the name of it.
Number 1, who was Tom Mesereau?
I don't recognize
Number
the name.
2, do you know Tom Mesereau?
Tom Ezro?
Mesereau.
No, sir.
Number 3?
No, sir.
Number 2, what famous make airplane is made in Wichita?
Where, sir?
Wichita.
Wichita, Kansas?
Yes.
The Cessna plants are out there.
Number 3?
I believe it is the Cessna.
Number 1?
Yes. Boeing B-47.
Betty White.
Thank you, Bud. What do they do with their discards? That's all I want to know. Number 2, how many are in the first graduating class at the Air Force Academy?
We started with 306, and we are now down to 202.
Number 3, how many in the first class?
About 205.
Number 1, what time do you boys go to sleep at night?
22:15.
What?
22:15.
2250.
How much is that in
22.50.
American money?
10:15.
10:15. Number 2, what 3 All-American teams were you chosen for?
I was on the Sports Illustrated All-American, the UP, and the Williamson All-American.
Mike Wallace.
Number 2, what's the name of the new football coach at Notre Dame?
That's Joe Q. Herrick of the Washington Redskins.
Number 1, what's the name of the new football coach at Notre Dame?
Clu Herrick of the Washington Redskins.
Lou who?
Clu Herrick of the Washington Redskins.
Number 3, can a fellow who wears glasses get into the Air Force Academy?
Yes, as a matter of fact, recently the rules governing physical requirements have been eased, and sight correction now is accepted.
Kitty Carlisle.
Number 1, Air Force men always answer every question by saying Roger. Who is Roger?
Roger is no one.
No one?
No one.
Number 2, do you have to salute every officer you see?
We say out there that you salute everything unless it doesn't move, and then you paint it.
Number 3, what is the number of the new rocket plane and who's going to fly it?
I believe it's Captain Bob White. He's going to fly the X-15.
That's it, panel. Time to vote. In this first round, and without consultation, will you kindly mark your ballots? In so doing, of course, you will be selecting number 1, number 2, or number 3. Remember, the team of challengers will get $250 for every incorrect vote. Okay, panel, have you all voted? Betty, for whom did you vote?
Well, I love number 2's answer, but I'm still going to go with number 3. He somehow looks like an Air Forceman to me.
Okay. Mike?
Number 2, he looks a little ruddier, maybe even a little tougher than the other two, and you have to be a tough man to be an All-American.
Oh, you sure do. Kitty Carlisle, your vote.
Well, I voted for number 1. Number 2 made the most military half-turn coming off the platform, and number 3 knew the number of the X-15, but I think it's number 1.
Okay. Sounding a little like Polly tonight. Hi, Gardner.
Well, my vote goes to number 1, too. He knows where the Boeings are made. That's one of their 2 plants in Wichita.
Okay, there we have it then. We've made up our minds, and we trust that you have too, if you're playing with us at home, which we hope you always do. So let's find out now whether we're right or wrong, as we discover which one of these 3 gentlemen is the real Air Force Academy cadet and football captain. So will the real Brock Strom please stand up? Thank you, sir, very much.
He's going to take out after me, I'm afraid, Bud.
I think it's...
Oh, boy.
He's somebody to tackle, too, I'll tell you, because along with that fantastic football record he's piled up, his scholastic record average up there is over 90%.
Oh.
That's something, too. Now, number 2, would you please tell us who you really are and what you do, please?
My name is Bob Dillingham, and I'm an advertising space salesman for Time Incorporated.
And number 3, what about you, sir?
My name is Randy Hamer. I work for Sullivan, Stauffer, Caldwell, and Bayless Advertising, and one of the shows I cover is To Tell the Truth.
Oh, my. Well, now let's check up on our score here. We find that there were 2 incorrect votes at $250 each, for a grand total of $500 from our sponsor tonight. And I would like to also tell you panelists and all you watching our show that Cadet Strom is donating his share of the winnings to the Air Force Aid Society. So his share of the winnings will be donated.
And he's done me a good turn because he goes to bed early, and I shall point this out to my children.
Kitty, that'll get you nowhere, you know. Yes, I.
But I'd like to ask Brock a question. When do you think the Air Academy will start to compete with West Point and Annapolis in the annual football game? Is that set yet?
We play West Point next year and Annapolis the year after. And
Out in Los Angeles, isn't it, Cadet Strom?
No, we play West Point here at Mitchie Field, and then West Point, and Annapolis at their stadium.
Well, good luck.
Thank
we
you.
can't pursue any further information like that because the time is running a little short. But I would like to say that along with that $500 that you will divide, of course, on your way out, you will find a year's supply of Rise Instant Shave for each of you. Many happy close shaves to you, and a Merry Christmas, by the way. Good night, and the best of luck.
Thank you, Bud.
Now, panel, let's meet our next team of challengers.
What is your name, please?
My name is Clinton H. Goodwin.
What is your name, please?
My name is Clinton H. Goodwin.
What is your name, please?
My name is Clinton H. Goodwin.
All right, panel, here is Mr. Goodwin's affidavit. I, Clinton H. Goodwin, started a life of crime when I was 20 years old. I began a series of depredations across the country, burglarizing service stations, breaking into stores, and engaging in a series of armed robberies, one of which ended in a gun battle. I was finally caught and sentenced to from 1 year to life. While in prison, I was converted by the prison chaplain, and at the conclusion of my parole, I began a career of helping others. I am now an ordained Baptist minister and the superintendent of the largest rescue mission in the world. This year, we will bring the spirit of Christmas to more than 2,500 homeless and friendless men and boys. Signed, Clinton H. Goodwin. Now, panel, as you heard, these three gentlemen all claim to be the Reverend Clinton H. Goodwin, head of the world's largest rescue mission. And we start this cross-examination with Kitty Carlisle.
Thank you, Bud. Number 1, where is your mission?
On Howard Street in San Francisco.
And number 2, where is your mission?
On South State Street in Chicago.
Well, number 3, where is your mission?
On South Main Street in Los Angeles.
Number 1, what is a think?
A fink is somebody that nobody really likes, particularly in prisons.
Uh-huh. Number 2, what do they give you when you get out of jail?
$10 in a new suit.
Is that all? Well, I suppose that's enough. Number 3, when you're on parole, what can't you do? Can you get married, for instance?
No.
Can you, number 1, can you drive a car?
No.
Hi, Gardner.
Number 2, can you drive a car?
Yes.
Number 2, who was a fellow named Jerry Cacopardo?
The name is not familiar to me.
Number 1, is Cacopardo familiar to you?
Yes, it seems that I've heard of him. He was a convicted murderer who later became a Presbyterian minister in New Jersey.
Uh-huh. Number 3, do you know who he is?
Yes.
Number 3, what in prison is called a clinker?
Clinker?
Mm-hmm.
That's not familiar to me.
Number 2?
Betty?
Thank you, Bud. Number 1, for 2 years you were involved in a series of depredations across country. What are depredations?
Well, it's just something that you shouldn't be doing. Things outside of the law, ruining other people's property, taking other people's property.
It's a fair enough answer. Thank you, sir. Number 2, where were you in prison?
When was I in
Where?
Where? Joliet.
Number 3, where were you in prison?
San Quentin Prison, California.
Number 1, where were you in prison?
They put me in Folsom.
Real split personality. Number 2, have you ever been shot?
Been shot at?
Mike Wallace.
Number 2, what's the procedure when you are booked in, checked into a prison at Joliet? What do they do to you?
Is that my question?
Yes, number 2.
They indoctrinate you, you might call it. That's a little fancy word. They take away your civilian clothes, give you a prison suit, and shave your head.
They do.
I needed it more then.
What's the name of the warden at Joliet, number 2?
The warden in Joliet is Warren McNabb.
Number 1, what's the name of your warden?
Ralph McNamara, I think his name was.
That's it. Time to vote once again, panel. So without consultation, as before, will you please mark your ballots, and in so doing, select number 1, number 2, or number 3. All set? Everybody voted? Betty, for whom did you vote this time?
I don't know why I should ruin a perfect record. The last 2 times I've been on the show, I haven't gotten one. I'm going to go for number 2 because I like the old Brenner. All righty.
It's because she likes Yul Brynner. Mike, your vote, please.
I'm going to vote for number 1. I was all set to go for 2, and then suddenly he said that McNabb was the warden at Joliet and Reagan is the warden out there. Number 1.
Kitty?
I voted for number 3 because he has the kind of a face that would try to help people. Number 2 said you can drive a car when you're on parole. I don't think you can. It could be number 1, but I think it's number 3.
Oh, you're really filling in tonight. Hi, Gardner.
Well, I voted for number 3 also. Number 1 had the right answer to Cacopardo, but I think that the briefing here is done so wonderfully that he very readily might have had the name Cacopardo dropped this afternoon. So I voted for number 3. He seems to have, as Kitty said, quite a gentle face, and he looks prematurely gray to me.
All right, there you have it now. And let's see how right or wrong we are. As we discover the real identity of this gentleman in finding out which one of these 3 is the actual head of the world's largest rescue mission. Will the real Reverend Clinton H. Goodwin please stand up? Thank you, sir, very much. Number one, would you tell us who you really are and what you do, please?
My name is William A. Gavin. I am a retired Army officer now working for the Hooper Holmes Bureau.
Thank you, sir. And number two, what about you, sir?
My name is Larry Smith. I'm Public Relations Counsel.
Thank you, sir. Just so there is no confusion in anybody's mind, Reverend Goodwin is the superintendent of the Union Rescue Mission in Los Angeles, California, which is the largest rescue mission in the world. Great pleasure having you with us, and as we check up our score here, we find how many incorrect votes there have been, namely 2 at $250 each for a total of $500. Gentlemen, on the way out, there is a year's supply of Rise Instant Shave for each of you. Good night, and good luck to you.
Thank you.
Here's your first 100.
Now, panel, let's meet our third team of challengers.
What is your name, please?
My name is Werner Beck.
What is your name, please?
My name is Werner Beck.
What is your name, please?
My name is Werner Beck.
Again, an affidavit, panel. Follow along, please. I, Werner Beck, am Austrian. I am on a tour of the United States as a soloist with the famous Vienna Choir Boys, a singing group which was founded in 1498, just 6 years after Columbus discovered America. Composers Franz Schubert and Joseph Haydn were once members of this choir. In the 4 years I have been a member, I have traveled to many parts of the world. I have sung before the Queen of Belgium, the King and Queen of Greece, and the Emperor of Japan. Signed, Werner Beck. All right, panel, these 3 young gentlemen all claim to be Werner Beck, soloist with the Vienna Choir Boys, and we'll start this round of questioning with Betty White. Betty?
Thank you, Bud. According to all the Christmas cards I've been getting, one of them should have a black eye. Number 2, how many boys in the group?
22.
22 boys. Number 3, how many boys in the group?
22 boys.
Number 1, what do you sing? Soprano?
Soprano.
Soprano. What's the highest note you can sing?
Say high C.
High C. Number 2, what's the highest note you can sing?
I don't know.
Number 3, what's the highest note you can sing?
High C.
High C. Number 1, where is your home?
Vienna.
Number 2, how long have you been in the United States?
For 10 days.
Mike Wallace. Number 1, what's the name of the palace, the beautiful palace just out on the outskirts of Vienna?
The Augartenpalais.
The what?
The Augartenpalais.
Number 3, what's the name of that palace?
Augartenpalais.
Number 2?
Augartenpalais.
Happy birthday.
Gotta be that one.
Changed ownership since you were there.
Number 1, have you ever heard of Schönbrunn? Schönbrunn?
Yes.
Where is Schönbrunn?
The Empire of Austria loves there.
I don't quite understand.
The Empire of Austria loves there.
Kitty?
Number 2, where is Schönbrunn?
Outside of Vienna.
Number 2, what is the first line of the Brahms Vegan Lied?
I don't understand
What is the first line of the Brahms Vegan Lied? Do you know number 1?
No.
The first line? Do you number 3, what are the names of some of the composers that you sing?
Haydn, Schubert.
Can you think of any of the others? Number 1, can you think of any composers?
Haydn, Schubert, Mozart, Beethoven, Brahms.
Hi, Gardner.
You met or sang for the Emperor of Japan. Has he got a mustache or a beard? Number 1.
Pardon?
The Emperor of Japan. Has he a mustache or a beard?
A master.
Number 2, you travel a great deal. When do you get a chance to go to school?
We have a teacher with us on our tours.
Tutor. What is his teacher's name?
Afraid that's it. Time to vote, panel. Once again, will you mark your ballots? In so doing, you will select from these three young men number 1, number 2, or number 3. Okay, have you all marked your ballots? Betty, for whom did you vote?
Well, they just look at what I vote for, and then they vote for something else to play safe. I'm going to go with number 1 this time.
Okay, and what about you, Mike?
I'm going with number 3 because he looks like every choir boy in the world should look.
Kitty.
I voted for number 1. I think he is a soprano, and I think he's the one.
And hi, Gardner.
I voted for number 1 also, for a great many reasons, and we haven't time to tell.
All right. There you have it. Let's find out now which one of these three young men is the real soloist with the Vienna Choir Boys. So will the real Werner Beck please stand up? Oh, you joined the winner's circle that time, Betty, didn't you?
Finally. We're not speaking to Mike.
What am I going to get?
I don't know. We'll find out. We'll talk about that.
A big goose egg for Christmas.
Oh, no. Number 2, would you tell us who you really are and what you do, please?
I am Edward van Rijkenvorsel. I am Dutch, and I have never been to Austria. And I'm the son of the Consul General of the Netherlands in New York.
Thank you, son. Number 3. Number 3, would you tell us who you are and what you do?
I'm Eric van Rijkenvorsel. I'm his brother.
You're his brother. I think it's only fair to tell you that the Vienna Choir Boys will be singing at Town Hall, I believe. Is that correct? On this coming Friday and Sunday here in New York, Town Hall. So if you want to hear them, and they're very worth hearing. Well, checking on our score, we find there was only one incorrect vote at $250. Panel did well on that one. And that, of course, is for you, gentlemen. Very Merry Christmas to you. And good night. Good luck. On your way out, you'll find a gift package of Carter's fine products. Good night, boys, and thank you. Now, we've got a special Christmas surprise coming up for you in just 1 minute. Hi, you did well on that last round. Were you ever a choir boy?
No, my voice changed when I was 3 years old. And I quite made it.
You mean to what you have now?
No, it was another voice then. It's changed three times.
You know. Well, you did mighty well on that one. And I told you, as I told our audience, that we have a special Christmas surprise for you now. And this is what it is. Inasmuch as young Werner Beck is with us tonight, and inasmuch as tonight is the night before Christmas, we have asked young Werner Beck to sing for us one of the most beloved of all Christmas carols and hymns, Silent Night. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There is our Christmas decoration for your tree. That's the star that goes on the top of it, we hope. And I guess that all that remains now is to wish a very Merry Christmas to our panel and to all of you, ladies and gentlemen, a very, very Merry Christmas. Good night. See you next week.
To Tell the Truth is the Mark Goodson, Bill Cotton production in association with the CBS Television Network.